very deeply. So the thought process actually makes this person what he is. Not the personality alone, but even the physique of this person. So that is what is very important, and that is why he has been repeatedly saying, I can say with all certainty and conviction because I have practiced for 70, 80 years. So unless you do that, it is impossible. Therefore, when he's talked about 3 C's or 5 K's, these 3 C's are basically to build this personality, and Pancha Koshas are basically meant for cleansing and improving one's own state to one level to another level, moving up the ladder all the time. So that is what is actually meant. So this dharma, what we are talking about, is of various kinds. So Vishwasya Jagatah Pratishtha. So Vishwa actually means Sakalam. Another connotation of Vishwa is Sakalam. So though Vishwa is generally used in the sense of Jagat, so it is actually means Sakalam. So Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan. In fact, we have a Prayoga. So there also Sakalani. So that is what is the meaning of Vishwa. So here, Vishwasya Jagataha means Sarvasya Jagataha, whether it is this loka or that loka or other loka, all the lokas are sustained only through this dharma. Dharmo Vishwasya Jagatah Pratishtha. Further, Loke Dharmishtham Praja Upasarpanti. Today we have got, fortunately, a good Raja. So who has conviction on this dharma? See? So this conviction on this dharma, so which he practices both, as whether he is in India or he is elsewhere. So this is something which is very interesting. There are various practices. At various levels we have to adopt this dharma. One is intellectually completely adopting it. Other is through certain actions. So physicalizing certain actions, verbalizing certain actions. When somebody goes to examination, you say all the best. Just because you say all the best, so his quality of performance in the examination is not just going to become multifold. Whatever he has read. So these are all certain things that we do, sometimes physically. So when you get up, when somebody comes, so you show that you revere that person. So Professor Mahadevan used to say that all these practices are considered stupid practices. Why should I get up? I can be sitting as I like. Then why should he even say all the best? Why should he even cut the cake during birthday? Anyway, so there are certain practices which we do, but when it comes to the practices which we do in India, it is always questioned. So whether you throw some cake on the other face or you don't throw cake on the other face, how does it matter? But you do this. Nobody questions. What is the significance of throwing cake on the other face during birthday celebration? Okay, so let us move on. So, Loke Dharmishtham Praja Upasarpanti Dharmena Papam Apanudati. All this Yajna Shishtamrita Bhujaha that he was talking about is all primarily contained in this phrase. Dharmena Papam Apanudati. By performing all these yajnas, the yajnas that one talks about is Deva Yajna, Pitri Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Manushya Yajna and Brahma Yajna. When I talk about Manushya Yajna, it is respecting the other person. The entire CSR is just a speck of what we talk about Manushya Yajna. So customer relation, etc. These are all names which we have coined today, without which the current business will not run. But Manushya Yajna essentially means this. You care for the other being. Caring for the other being at all levels. So when this Sarfoji Maharaja writes a note to the British, he wanted to see that the caring that we have been maintaining in this country for hundreds of years, thousands of years, should never get lost. So that is what is the principle. Manushya Yajna. Bhuta Manushya Yajna, Brahma Yajna basically means knowledge. I'll talk about it a little later. Proceed. Proceed further. In fact, there are various beautiful slokas. See, this is something which we find in almost every piece of literature that has been created in India. That is why Mahadevan said that there is an elaborate discussion, whatever be the scripture that you find about this practice of dharma. In fact, in Ramayana, dharmadartha prabhavati, dharmat prabhavate sukham, dharmena labhate sarvam, dharmasaramidam jagat. It is basically echoing what has been stated in the Upanishadic literature by Sita. Sita, whom does she address? She addresses Rama, who is basically a Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. See the interesting thing here. Further thing, how does one practice Dharma? Practicing of Dharma does not happen just by your fanciful thinking about it. It is a certain discipline which has to be done with a certain restraint, both physically and intellectually. So here she says, Atmanam niyamaistaihi karishayitva prayatnataha prapyate nipunayar dharmaha nasukhal labhyate sukham. By being what I would like to be, without being curtailed or controlled by any agency, whether it is self-imposed discipline or external imposed discipline, if I want to lead a life, then I don't think you will be really a happy person. For a moment you may feel so, but in the long run you are not going to be a happy person. So, nasukhal labhyate sukham. If I spend all my time playing without studying, then is it ever possible that I become a scholar? A scholar has to strive day and night. He has to keep reading various things, pondering over various things. Otherwise it is impossible. Nasukhal labhyate sukham. Even if you want to prosper in your industry, then you have to struggle hard. You have to work late night. You have to convince that you are a committed person to your bosses. And I know there are cases where even for genuine reasons, if they had to leave, the bosses will immediately fire. So under various constraints, you keep working and in order to please these fellows. So if you want to see that you are an eternally happy person, then how is it possible that it is by being someone like a freak, just to do whatever I want to do? So it is impossible. So that is why Atmanam niyamaistaihi karishayitva. A shining example of this was Paramacharya, who was quoted by Professor Srinivas here during the Independence Day. Niyamaistaihi karishayitva prayatnataha. Rendu irukku adu thappu. Prapyate nipunayar dharmaha. Karishayitva is typo here. So this is a problem of cutting and pasting. I didn't type this. Let me admit. Today there are various things which are available in soft form. Karshayitva prapyate nipunayar dharmaha nasukhal labhyate sukham. Next. One can justify. Next. So this is in fact a quote from Paramacharya. All old dharmic traditions must be protected and kept alive. The Shankara Bhagavatpada has commanded us to do so. I bear his name, so it is my duty to remind you of his injunction. Whether or not you will heed it, I should impress upon you that the Shastric scriptural customs have the purpose of ensuring the good of all mankind. So this is what has been repeatedly said by Vishwasya Jagataha Pratishtha, of the entire mankind. There is an interesting shloka. We talk about various dharmas, sharing time, sharing resources, respecting others, and so on and so forth. This yajna also includes Brahma yajna. Brahma yajna is primarily building upon what you already know. Number one. Number two, to see that whatever you have learned is not forgotten. Third, to understand deeper meanings of what you already have learned. So what is required is hard work in learning first, remembering what you have learned, pondering over what you have already learned to get the deeper aspects of what you have already learned, and gaining knowledge. So when you talk about this Brahmanas, so Adhyanam Adhyapanam, So this adhyapanam helps you in trying to recollect what you have done and also build upon what you have already learnt. So this yajanam yajanam, in fact, this has been highly spoken by the Swaminatha here again, time and again, and in fact he wanted me on this occasion that a small booklet should be brought out explaining the significance of all these things that we have, particularly this yajna aspect. So this yajna aspect he strongly believes, and I also have, but I do not have enough resources to substantiate what he wants to prove. So he says that there is a certain process which is involved in this, and by following certain varnashrama dharma, we are, in fact, Gandhiji also sort of hints, so in his speeches later, that we are able to maintain a certain gene which has been handed over to us. It is not something which we can gain. So all of a sudden, we will not be able to transform some individual to other individual. So from the viewpoint of the biology which is involved in this person, there are only certain things which are possible. So the entire thing cannot be.